are servicing your client very well. आपका जो करंट अकाउंट सेविंग्स अकाउंट का रिलेशनशिप है वो बहुत अच्छा चल रहा हो, बट क्लाइंट को मान लीजिए उसका इन्वेस्टमेंट सर्विसिंग में या लोन सर्विसिंग में कहीं उसके होम लोन में या किसी भी चीज में शिकायत होगी, तो ही विल पुल आउट हिज अकाउंट एंड यू विल लूज ऑन योर एमडैब एंड योर balances of current and savings account. So it is very important to ensure that the customer is satisfied in all the parameters of the bank. And for every parameter, you might not even be responsible. Like for loan servicing, हो सकता है कि आपकी कोई मिस्टेक ही ना हो पर कस्टमर लोन डिपार्टमेंट से नाराज हो. So until and unless he does not give the feedback, the bank would not know. And if the bank would not know, how will they improve upon it, right? How will they try and satisfy him? So NPS is measured by asking the ultimate question. Bases your recent experience with the bank or journey or the channel and product, how likely are you to recommend Axis Bank to your friends and colleagues, right? How does an NPS survey questionnaire appears to the customer? There's an 11-point NPS question, single metric to measure loyalty. Basis on your recent experience, how would you recommend it to friends? Once you give that response, if example you give a 9, then it would say, glad to hear, please select the key reasons for the score you may have selected. Please give the key reasons. You may select up to 3. So that is maybe time taken to resolve your service request, executive staff related, time taken to register my service request, adequacy of resolution. So all these are part of your service feedbacks. Then there can be, these are L1 drivers. Then there can be L2 drivers for further drill down into each identified L1 issue. What did you like the most about time taken to resolve your service request? Speed, number of visits to get the resolution, clarity of documents required by the branch executive. Then finally, we will love to hear if there is something else you want to tell us, right? So these are, the questionnaire format which the customer would get. Customers are categorized into 3 different groups based on their response to NPS questions: promoters, passives, and detractors. What are promoters? Customers giving a rating of 9 or 10 are promoters. They are happy with services offered. They will recommend the bank to their friends and family, right? Customers giving a rating of 7 or 8 are passives. Okay, passives are moderately satisfied. They usually don't talk bad about your brand, but they certainly would refer you to a friend, right? And customers rating you from 0 to 6 are detractors. These customers are unhappy customers. They refrain from purchasing additional products and services, and they can cause long-term damage to your brand if ignored. So ये जो customers रहते हैं ना, इनको संभालना बहुत जरूरी है. और कोई नाराज कस्टमर को जब आप खुश कर देते हो, तो इनफैक्ट उसकी रिलेशनशिप आपके पास काफी लॉन्ग टर्म तक रहती है. So it is very important to ensure that these detractors are taken care of. They cannot be ignored. Net Promoter Score is calculated by subtracting the percentage of detractors from the percentage of promoter. Simple formula to calculate NPS is equal to percentage of promoters minus percentage of detractors. For example, if 68% of customers were promoters and 13% were detractors, then your NPS would be positive 55%. If, on the other hand, only 21% of the customers were promoters and 57 were detractors, then the NPS would be negative 36%, right? So NPS can range from a low of minus 100 to a high of 100. NPS can be minus 100 if every customer is a detractor. अगर सभी हमसे नाराज हैं, तो हमारा NPS स्कोर क्या हो जाएगा? minus 100. और सभी हमसे खुश हैं, तो हमारा NPS क्या हो जाएगा? पूरा 100, right? And every customer will be a promoter. Based on the feedback, actions are taken to improve customers' experience via loop closures. So for example, the inner loop call to action on negative feedback to ensure loop closures with customers at the frontline level. Okay, so individual learning, behavior change and connections with the customer is your inner loop. Huddle, team problem solving, issue explanation, mutual commitment, root cause analysis, prioritization and implementation of structural improvements, and outer loop. So outer loop prioritize top pain points, conduct RCAs, and address structural issues by implementing initiatives and drives time-bound closures. Okay? So एक inner loop होता है जो आपका इंडिविजुअल्स हैं, कस्टमर्स हैं जो एक्सक्लेट करते हैं, रूट कॉज को फाइंड करते हैं. सो call to action on negative feedback to ensure loop closure with customers at frontline level are these individuals who do it at frontline level. Outer loop is prioritize top pain points, conduct RCAs, and address structural issues by implementing initiatives and drive time-bound closures. So, there are certain feedbacks which tell you, structurally this process is wrong in the system. And hence, those, problems are considered uh, technically what can be done and what kind of structural issues can be found out to reduce these pain points and to ensure that they lead to time bound closures. NPS journey captured for affluent customers. NPS feedback is captured across various journeys around onboarding,